at the next part. So what we're looking at here is the upcoming competition analysis course. I'm actually doing this between the next in the next week on a week to weekend. So it's going to be starting on Thursday, and then it kind of runs until Sunday. Now this is one of my premium lessons that I've learned, that I've actually kind of curated. You're not going to find this anywhere on the web any which ways. So it's something that is of my learning from the past 10 years. I've kind of crunched that. A lot of people and a lot of clients have told me that the kind of competition analysis I do is extremely deep, and it kind of gives them that insight which is matched with their sales data. Now, without even knowing the sales data, that's how do I basically come up with the numbers, and that's what I'm going to teach as part of this competition analysis course. So we're going to look at so these are a couple of things that will be a part of this course. It's going to have the analysis mindset, which means that even before you do a competition analysis, you need to have the mind to do a competition analysis, as in you need to have that kind of mindset. If you're going to do it for the sake of doing it, you're not going to basically get your answers. When you're basically doing a competition analysis, it's more like you're trying to do research. You're trying to kind of do primary research and find out what do people think, right? How are people thinking right now, and what's the kind of search volumes that are out there in the market? So that's basically the focus. So over here, if you see that there is a day one, and then in the day two, we're going to go deeper. We're trying to understand search and how do you calculate demand. So this is one of my favorites. So I'm going to take you through some of the, like a sneak peek into what you're going to be basically, or what will you be able to do with the things that I'm going to teach in this course, right? So you've got understanding search and how to calculate demand, and then you have finding and evaluating consumer demand for products, topics, and industries. And then we've got advanced demand-based brand research. So that's all included. Let me show you how it looks like. Maybe that's something that will excite you. So somebody reached out to me. I had a person reach out to me, and he spoke about, he said something like spirulina is a very interesting superfood and is getting extremely famous in the Indian market. So it's going to be it's heavily in demand and stuff like that. So what I did is I did not know how much is the demand. In fact, I heard of spirulina for the first time. So how do I go about it, right? And that's what I did. I kind of did the kind of research that you see in front, and these are basically numbers, and these are kind of numbers that I got, which is from a tool that you probably know or you probably use, maybe. Some of you definitely use it, but you've never used it in the way that I've used it. So that's a possibility. So this is something that I've actually put together. And what I did was, okay, I looked at interest for spirulina in India, and I also mapped that with what kind of campaigns and how do these spikes appear, right? So that's what we did. And then I looked at going a little deeper, and I looked at, okay, how many people are actually searching for this particular product online, or how many people are actually looking for it in Flipkart, and how many people are actually looking for the same product on Amazon, right? So, and this is the kind of data I was able to pull out, which I kind of put them in charts, and it kind of gave me a visual understanding of the kind of demand in the Indian market for a product like spirulina. Now, like this, I can do any product under the sun. What I'm going to teach you during the course is how you do it. How do I basically reach this, so that when you do it yourself, you will be able to kind of decipher any market, any topic, any industry on earth, and you will be able to do it sitting right at your home. You will be able to figure out what's the share of intent, what are people thinking, what are the kind of demand in the market, and that's something that you will be able to figure out. How does that sound? If you find that something that's interesting to you, then just drop that in the comments, right? So, and I'll go further. I'll show you what more do I have, and what more can I do with the data and the research that I've collated. All right, and all this will take you not more than 3 hours max. Okay, to top it. This is the kind of information that you can get in 3 hours time. Imagine the kind of insight that you will have when you're trying to maybe start a business or trying to basically market a product, you will know in and out about all of it, right? So that's what this is. So over here, as you can see, how is spirulina looked for, or what is the kind of interest of spirulina in different languages? So are people looking at it for in Gujarati? Do people browse about it in Bengali, Kannada, Telugu, Hindi? How do I basically come here, right? So that's something that I'm going to show you. I'm going to teach you that as well, and coming up with an analysis, right? And then we're going to look at competition, right? So what are the kind of brands in the space who have kind of dominated the space, and how have they been moving in terms of the interest, like how do consumers react to these brands? So that's something that you can see over here as well, and you are able to also create a market share for the brand, and you will be able to do this everything again in less than 3 hours. That's all included as part of this course, right? Very interesting. I hope that's interesting to you, and it's exciting because this is something that most owners, chairmen, investors are looking for. They are looking for ways to figure out how their market share is, where their market share is, how is the kind of benchmark, and how do you take it to the next level? What do you need to do to actually increase market share? So what this particular course does is it kind of gives you that exposure to be able to come up with metrics or define metrics that you will be able to use in the future for anything. And once you know this, um, I can tell you that, you know, it's like you have magic inside you, and it's something that will be your strength that you can use for life. Any business, anything under the sun, you will be able to use the same approach and kind of figure out whether there is a demand for a particular product. Maybe you're starting your own business. Is there a demand for your particular business? You'll be able to find that. If it is to do with a new product in the market, you'll be able to find that. Unless this is something altogether which is an innovative product which people are not have no clue about. But for everything else, if there is any kind of demand, you will actually be able to look for, right? Next, demand by consumption type. So how is spirulina actually consumed? Do they take powder? Do they take tablets? Do they take capsules? This is how it's been consumed. How do I all get this data? Well, you got to be a part of that course. All right. So this is, and then we get into further details, which is day 3, day 4. So day 3, we're looking at tracking some competitive keywords and their rankings, trying to track e-commerce product and pricing. And then you have the social media competition analysis. It's got the metrics and competition communication, visual analysis, campaigns and digital assets, and again, the class that we just did, which is a part of Tuesday Technicals, which is spying on competitive ads. So we're gonna have that as part of this course as well, and this is going to be just a small thing out of the whole a whole exercise, right? So once you're aware of how do you do something like, you know, something like I've given you a magic sword, you'll literally be able to do it and scale it up for any business, any industry. So when is this happening? This is happening between 11th and 14th June, between 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. It's going to be a 2-hour session, except for the first one. The first one is going to be a quick mindset session just to give you an idea of how to think and how do you base how this entire 3-day session is going to go. But that's going to happen on the 11th. That's going to be the first one, and then after that, 12, 13, 14 is going to be hardcore. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday is going to be hardcore sessions. Where will it be held? It's going to be held on a live webinar in a private Facebook group. As usual, all the courses are being held like that. These are webinars, and then once the course has been done, it then goes live on to xaviersacademy.com, where you can get lifetime access, or you can buy out a lifetime access, right? Will I be able to see the live webinar course later? Yes, you can. So all the people who kind of get into the course, or the delegates who get into the course during the live session, will have access to it only for a month. And once you, let's say you want to kind of watch it later, you will have to buy out on Xavier's Academy the full course. So that's basically what it is. That's the fee for the course. It's 10K for the live webinar. It's going to be a lot higher when it actually gets onto Xavier's Academy. This is because you're a part of the live webinar. That's the reason why it's 10K. And then you have the 1 month access to the course. If you're looking at registrations, just connect on this number, which is 96198958846. So that's basically it. That's what this course is going to be about. If you have any questions, you can drop that. If you're interested, with us. Connect with us on that number. You will be able to see that number as well. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video, the next course, or you can say, in case you're not signing up for this course, then I look forward to see you in the next Tuesday talk session. All right. If you have any questions, just drop it in the comments, and I will be able to answer those. If not, that's the end of today's session. All right. Have a lovely week ahead.